This is Senator Dr. Abubakar Bukola Saraki, CON.
To formally declare the occasion open. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Your Excellency, Deputy Senate President, Senator Reenactment, Chief Whip of the Senate, George here, Chairman Senate Committee on Custom, Senator Hope Zodima, Civil Senators of the Federal Court of Nigeria here present, heads of various government agencies, parastatals, departments, stakeholders here present, invited guests, President. It's my pleasure to welcome you, our invited guests to this very. Aside from revenue, custom plays a role also in our government economic policy. Government's position in diversification, the issue policies are made in Nigeria in these key areas can only function or be efficient or be successful if also our custom and excise policies are in sync with the overall general policy. The point I would point are where some of our customs, tariff, and general policies run counter to that will create a problem for our economy. It is my view that at these, and my hope that at these public hearings, we will get contributions of a lot of stakeholders, experts, who can ensure that our custom law is in sync with modern global best practices. It is my hope that by doing that, we'll be really putting customs in a ready position it should be in pushing this country forward in our diversification economic policy. Let me at this note encourage and thank all those who have come here personally to be part of this process. This bill is one of our priority economic bills that we are hoping to pass by the year end. It is my hope that by the year end, the committee can ensure that your report can be laid before we end the session, so that when we pass the budget next year, we will pass it along with these important bills. So this opportunity of today, I hope you will use it to ensure that all contributions are put in place. On this note, it's my pleasure to now declare open this public hearing on Customs and Excise Amendment Act, Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2016. I wish you a very, very good deliberation.
With senators and members of the committee, I want to thank the committee chairman for the initiative for putting this stakeholders conference together. I also want to appreciate the initiative for bringing the body of auctioneers together, and I think that is why we are very, very united and very organized in this forum. So on behalf of the Nigerian Association of Auctioneers and the Millennium Auctioneers, we present our matters, and our matters are very salient in the issue of port reforms, and they are very, very needed to improve the IGR, which the Senate President and the committee chairman rightly pointed. Before we go into or digress into the area of the IGR, we first of all have to identify the problems that are salient in the Nigerian Customs Service. And part of the problems in the area of disposal is the poor organization in the disposing entity. You will agree with me that improper documentation has led to a lot of litigations and a lot of problems where government and even the Nigerian Customs Service has a lot of revenue drain in terms of money losses and leakages, which the chairman rightly pointed out. And part of the areas about classification and valuation of overtime and contraband cargoes, has also been a very major problem and critical to the area of having the true value for items to be disposed before they are actually disposed. Now we have commodities like FMCGs. These are classified under fast-movable consumer goods. And now we have import of such commodities that come into our borders on a regular basis. Now the custom is not, sorry to say this, but not properly organized in the order of proper storage of commodities to be disposed. And when these commodities are apprehended, they overstay in the custom, and there's that every tendency for them to lose value in terms of expiration and stuff. And the government spends a lot of money in evacuating such commodities. We also have to look at certain other areas where the government, the custom compromise their position in the area of sales. The government, and I think everybody in this house have rightly pointed, my professional colleagues, that you cannot be a judge in your own case. You cannot do the enumeration of assets to be disposed, evaluation, and taking a proper classification of asset and still be the salesman. There must be a definition on who to sell. In other words, we're looking at concrete areas where we talk about a repeal of a particular section of the Custom Act, which gives them the empowerment, so to speak, you know, to evaluate, enumerate, and still be the salesman. This dual functionality causes a lot of unchecked balances where government loses a lot of revenue. Now, we also have areas of non-involvement of professionals to do their professional duties. In the past, the body of auctioneers have always enjoyed relevant patronage in the area of public congestion, even being part of committees in the area of disposal. But very recently, we have committees of custom doing the same job and fixing, arrogating prices on items to be disposed. If you use the service of auctioneering to dispose items, there is the room for competitive bidding, where the image of government is well protected and the interest of the public is well captured. We also have the area of improper security in the ports. No doubt there are a lot of thefts when there are things imported. And if these are unchecked, there are a lot of problems. I want to talk about a little area on our proposed solution as a body. We propose to this Honorable House that in the past, custom containers, contraband containers, and overtime cargoes are littered all over designated ports. But if the custom will organize an auction mat, so to speak, like a designated location, where all overtime and contraband cargoes can be brought through, you will have proper record and proper check, you know, to avoid theft and pilfering. Then also,
Can I ask you one thing?
yes, sir.
Do you have any law regulating auction?
The auctioneering profession is regulated by the same old law we have reiterated in 1958, sir. We also have Cap 173 of 1971. We have the 173 of 1971. More recently, we have the Due Process Act. We also have regulations like the Public Procurement Act, 2007. Yeah, we have it. We also have the regulations under the Financial and Store Regulations, the Financial Regulations 2619 and the Stores Regulation 1414, that makes the provision for doing the due diligence before disposing. No doubt, every procuring entity is a disposing entity, but the definition of that particular section of the Custom Act 191 has to clearly tell us. It's clear. The disposal is not well spelled. I can read that. But what it says here is given the SEMA law. Yes, that's a Cap 191. The SEMA law. What the SEMA law says is, I can read that particular. The sales under the custom laws, Cap 45, 2004, section 191 of the Act, Custom and Excise Management Act. The Sales by Auction Act, Cap 187, which I just said to you just now, of 1958, shall not apply to the sales under the customs and excise when conducted by an officer authorized by the board to conduct sales. Who constitutes the board? The custom constitutes the board. The custom constitutes the salesman.
No. That is the issue. What does the law say?
I've just quoted it.
Are you arguing against it?
No, I'm not arguing against the law. But we're saying there should be morality.
Because in the SEMA, there is a disposal procedure that stipulates how we should go through these rules and over time.
We are in for due process. Whatever customs is doing be rest assured that it will be done by due process.
Okay, what
As
is the
dictated.
due process of auction? Will we ring the bell online?
No, it is not. Yes, everything will be specified online. There is going to be a platform. There is going to be a platform for auction, and it will come stage by stage. Everything encompassing. And it will be a free and fair one. Yes, please.
What of the legal framework that they are saying?
It will be followed, sir. It will be followed.
Yeah.
Due process has no option. We have to follow it to the core.
Now, for electronic transaction like that, you have a legal framework.
Yes.
Can you be sued?
Yes, we can. The laws are there. They are stated on when it is done. It is there. The laws are there. Everything will be followed properly.
For the mistakes made by the machine, you take responsibility.
Oh, there will be no mistake. We'll take it. There will be no mistake. I'm very sure. Yes.